Hello and welcome. Today we've got something simple for you. So sit down, take around, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to another Ask Kev Anything. Once again, taking your questions about pretty much everything. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun little segment. So sit down, stick around, and enjoy. Now, for our first question here, it's a question from Alex Gonzalez. And he writes, "Hey Kevin, so when did Transformers reviewing start on YouTube?" Now that's an interesting question. I remember when YouTube first came on, or when I first heard of it in '06, and one of my friends was actually starting to make videos on it. And back then the videos on YouTube, it was more like people kind of conflicting a lot, people talking to each other through YouTube. You could see the videos by some of the big people at that point, like Renetto, Mr. Pregnant, fellow Canadian Winecone. These kinds of people, these were the people that were on YouTube making videos, little videos, some of them goofy, some of them just people arguing against one another. That's pretty much what it was. In '06, I remember I came up with with an idea. I mean, I'm sure people have had the idea of actually reviewing Transformer toys on YouTube. Because the issue was, when you were actually doing a pictorial review, you couldn't really see any of the moving mechanisms in the toy. I wanted to see that. And I thought, it'd be kind of cool if you could actually make a video review. The idea of the video review for Transformers, I've thought about it a while ago. Probably even years ago. Years and years ago. The issue always was that you couldn't really make a video. A, I didn't have a camera, and B, you couldn't really have something online without taking bandwidth. And when YouTube came along, it was basically a free-for-all at the time. Throw your videos up here, we'll host them, and people can watch them. So you don't got to worry about bandwidth and all that crap. So it was perfect. And then I remember when I was ready, I bought my camera. It was in '06. It was in August, I think. And I joined YouTube, and I was ready to make my first Transformers review. I actually saw another person on YouTube at the time review a Transformers toy, Primus from Energon, the planet Energon Primus. And it was kind of neat. I saw that, I'm like, yeah, cool, this is neat, Not that I'm stealing this guy's idea or anything, because I was planning on doing it. It just so happened that I went to go see if other people were actually doing this, or if I was going to be one of the first. So I guess, to tell you the truth, the first person that actually did put a Transformer review on YouTube, I don't really know who it was. Like I said, there were very few of them, one here, one there, and they weren't people who review them today. Not to my knowledge, anyway. The first person to actually go through and make Transformers reviews on a consistent basis, and it's me. I'm that person. I believe I am. If you can find somebody who does this on a continuous basis, who predates my first reviews, then please steer me in the right direction. But I'm definitely one of the first, one of the pioneers. I'm not saying I'm the first, but I'm definitely one of the first. And not that it really matters anyway. I could be the last. It doesn't, of actually making them, doesn't really matter. As long as people like them, that's pretty much what I look for. So to give you a true answer to it, the first ever review, well, I don't really know. I know some people had done it before me, but they haven't. It was just one video. First person to do it consistently, I would assume it's me. Like I said, I could be wrong. But yeah. Or at least, if not, I'm probably one of the first people who actually did it, who's still doing it now. I think. Anyway. Regardless, it did start probably in about the year '06. When it started, 2006. Next question is from Spider-Man fan number 1. He writes, "Hi Kev, keep up the good work. I adore your AKAs, your 101s, your nailer fails, everything." Well, if you like my AKAs, nailer fails, and 101s, you're in for a treat this week, because this being the Halloween week, I'm going to try to have one video out of every major segment, starting with this one. This is the AKA segment Halloween edition. That's why we're sitting next to Scary Bebop and Scary Rocksteady. Mutants! Mutants! Not genetic mutants, man. Mutants made with slime. These ain't no X-Men. But, yeah, so this is kind of like the Halloween AKA, I guess. But I'm going to go through the week with different videos, subsequently culminating on Halloween with a 101 glass. I'm sure a lot of you people will enjoy. And I'm not saying what it is yet. So, anyways, I saw your rants and your good reviews, and I strongly agree with everything. As a matter of fact, when I read One More Day, it sickened me so much, it literally made me cry. That's a fan. If you can read One More Day and actually cry about it, it's hardcore, man. Fucking hardcore. But here is my question. What do you think of Spider-Man 2099? And what do you think of a Spider-Man 2099 movie? Keep up the awesome work and make more videos. What do I think of Spider-Man 2099? Well, I'll tell you the truth here. The idea and the concept was great. You know, a futuristic Spidey, futuristic villains that are, you know, homages to the original. It was beautiful. But the way the art was done, the way it was written, I don't like talking about Peter David that way, but the comic itself was borderline super crap. I really didn't like it. I never took to it. I tried reading it, but it's just, it's so bland. The comic's so bland. It's almost like it was just, and it is during the era of Marvel when they would produce number ones and produce spin-off series of just everything, just in order to try to get more money, saturate the market right before the big comic crash. And it shows. It shows in this. It's like, it looks rushed. It looks like super, super rushed. It's like a McDonald's drive-through comic. But, yeah. And what would I think about a Spider-Man 2099 movie? I think Spider-Man 2099 movie might not be a bad idea, but it's too early now. Because Spider-Man movie franchise is still strong, and it's going for another 3 movies. And I don't think the 2099 movie would be anything that people will want to see now. I don't even know if people would ever want to see it, period. Just because, like, the comic wasn't popular at all. In my opinion, or it's probably one of the more popular 2099 titles, but let's face it, all of the 29 titles were pretty much garbage. So, by saying that, I don't think that the audience or the fan base of people would want to see this. This is a Marvel property. I don't think the Marvel would attach your Spider-Man name to the kind of movie that the 2099 story would more likely produce. I guess that's just me. That's what I think. Anyways, 2099 movie, probably bad idea. Spider-Man 2099 comic, the intentions were good, but the product was bad idea. Let's keep going here. The next question here is from Tito Acosta, and he writes, "Your comic 101s are awesome." Thank you, Tito. "For the love of God, please make more. I don't care what character, they are all very interesting and well done." Well, thank you, Tito. Your dreams or wishes or just simple comment or question are coming true this weekend, Halloween weekend, as I will be releasing a new 101 class. Halloween edition. As we've pretty much done every year now. So stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoy it. And thanks for your question. Question here from Nathan. He says, "I think you're awesome, but here's the thing I have to ask you. What do you think about Marvel Zombies comics?" Okay, this is what I think about Marvel Zombies comics. And this is about the best way I can actually... The idea was good. Innovation was good. The way they drew the covers and made them zombified of old covers, it was nice. It was nostalgic. The first Marvel Zombie story was fun to read. But it's just getting old. It's getting old. They're releasing too much of this shit. It's getting old. And I find nowadays, and I don't know if it's just because Robert Kirkman's not writing it, or is it, I don't know. But I find that the Marvel Zombie stories and everything is just, it's too much. It's too, like, super, it's like, ugh, I can't even explain it. I can't put it into words. They basically milked the shit out of it. That's what they did. And now it's just, it's lost its appeal. And I think that's the reason why the current DC storyline, you know, of Blackest Night is going over so well. Because it's kind of like a Marvel Zombies of DC, in a way, but it's actually, what would you get if you would have a Marvel Zombie story with great writing, which is what's happening in the DC world. You got it's good writing on top of the fact that it's kind of like the zombies. So it brings the best of both worlds. While Marvel Zombies now is pretty much, the writing isn't really good at all. And it's just, you can see it's just, it's saturated. They're just like milking it and milking it and milking it. Like, this cow's teeth are so fucking red. They look like roses, man. Like roses. You gotta stop that shit. Seriously, Marvel. Like, wean off the Marvel Zombies. Make it more, you know, like once in a blue moon type fun. We're bringing this out. New story about it. You know what I mean? Well written. Stuff like that. Don't jam it down our throats, man. Definitely one subscription that I no longer have. It's any Marvel Zombie stuff, because it doesn't appeal anymore. It's gotten old. It's gotten milked too much. Alright. Next question. From George. George kind of has an odd question. I'm going to ask it. I'm gonna bring this into the show anyway. It says, how come there aren't a lot of sexually related crimes happening in superhero comics? Especially when it comes to rape and pedophilia. It rarely happens. Why is rape and others so taboo in superhero comics? Okay, well, I think the reason why rape and pedophilia are so taboo in superhero comics, probably because rape and pedophilia are taboo in normal life. It's not something you usually deal with, rape and pedophilia, you know, when you're watching Friends, watching Seinfeld. I don't remember the Cosby Show having shit like that. I guess it's just an all-around taboo subject, period. Doesn't really matter if it's in comics or not. I know that, I remember Spawn, Spawn actually had that Joy Kincaid character, the ice cream man, you know, was obviously pedophiliac. Whatever, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of it. Although that figure with him and all the popsicle sticks in him that McFarlane brought in exclusive, that was actually a pretty neat figure. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, I think I'm good. I think I am good with the amount of rape and or pedophilia that are in comics today, which is basically non-existent. I don't think that my life is missing much rape and pedophilia, you know, substance, I guess. I can't say that when I read a comic or read Spider-Man, I see Spider-Man swinging with Mary Jane, or Spider-Man with the black cat, I'm like, oh, fuck, man, I hope Peter rapes this bitch. Never really is what I think. I guess, you know, but, you know, if you like that stuff, whatever, I mean, might want to get help. But, yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I don't think I need any of those two subjects in any of my comics, as a matter of fact. But yeah, whatever. So, yeah. probably why. I don't think people would actually want to read that stuff. Next question is from Joe. And he says, what is the difference between the Transformers Encore series and a Transformer reissue series? Well, Joe, in essence, they're basically the same thing, except for the Encore series has a lot of painted decals on, where the other series actually had more stickers, I guess. Like the Autobot logo on Prime, it's painted on, like it's a tampoo, or what do you want to call it. The lines on some of the trucks are painted. The van lines on Ironhide and Ratchet are painted on. Basically, that's pretty much the big thing. Some of them are made to look more like in the show as well, more show accurate, with little nicks and stuff. I guess what they wanted to do is the re-releases were selling well. You know, Takara said, well, we're going to re-release them again. But we're not going to re-release them again exactly like we did before because, you know, we got to make some changes in order to make the person who bought the other one, he might want to buy this one. So that's pretty much what they did. And they put them in the boxes that look more like the original boxes than the ones that were just the box with a little card in it. So they actually have the full box art on it, on the box, which is, you know, very neat. Although the fact the little Encore crappy shit special box is always on top of the box art, which I don't really get. I mean, move that shit on the other side of the box where it's empty. But other than that, that's pretty much the differences between the two. And actually, one's probably a little cheaper than the other right now. Next question is from Robert Willett, and he writes, okay, Kev, I know from all your videos that you like DC and Marvel comics, but I don't think I ever saw a video that you said anything about any others, like Top Cow or Dark Horse. I like Darkness, Witchblade, and Alien vs. Predator comics, or other comics like Spawn and Sin City. What is your view on stuff like that? Actually, I'm not going to go into huge detail here about... I do read some of the smaller printing companies' comics. You know, I have read Spawn. I guess there is something coming, and I'm not going to... I don't want to spoil it, but there is actually a non-top 2 DC or Marvel 101 class or video, 101 video, that is coming out fairly soon. I don't want to spoil it, so just to show you that I do read other stuff, I'm going to do something coming soon. And that'll pretty much answer your question at that time. So keep watching. Next question is from Tom, and he writes, hey Kev, love the videos, man. Being an 80s buff, are you excited about the upcoming reboot of Ghostbusters with Judd Apatow as a producer? I'm very excited about the new Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters. And, yeah, I'm looking very forward to it. Very, very forward to it. I hope they have the old actors in it. I hope they have, you know, all of them. Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Bill Murray. I hope they bring them back and kind of have them pass the reins on to a new team. That would be very neat. After playing the Ghostbusters game, which was really cool to have the voice actors in the game. It was great. Loved it. Ghostbusters video game. Definitely if you're a fan of the game, of the Ghostbusters series, pick that up. The Wii version is kind of like cartoony. I play the Xbox version, which is more like, well, the real faces, real characters. It's not like the cartoony versions of them. So, definitely, big Ghostbusters fan. I'm looking forward to this movie. I hope they do it right. And, yeah. Very, very excited. Alright. Next question is from Gibblers. And they write, hello, Kev, this is Gibblers. Wanted to know if you actually live in Edmonton. Because I used to live there now and I live in Toronto, man. You are the best. I love you, man. Keep up the funny stuff. I like toy collecting as well. You have quite a large collection of toys, and I think that's cool. Anyway, just wanted to know where you can find Marvel Legends Black Spider-Man. Bye. Love you, man, but not in a sexual way. Oh. I'm glad you don't like me in a sexual way. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but, yeah. for the sake of this video and for the kids watching. So I guess your question was, yeah, 2 questions. We're gonna find Marvel Legends Black Spider-Man. Probably on eBay, I guess, if you can't find it at your local store. eBay would be the first place I'd go looking. Question about Edmonton. Do I live in Edmonton? No, I do not live in Edmonton. I'm just a huge diehard nut Edmonton Oilers fan, but I do not live in Edmonton. I do hope someday. Actually, I never even visited Edmonton. I live on the East Coast. I live in New Brunswick. It'd be cool if I could go to Edmonton to see an Oilers game at Rexall Place. That'd be very cool. But no, I'm not from Edmonton. I just love the Oilers, as you saw probably my other videos. Hockey Heckling, which is me watching the Oilers during their last Stanley Cup run. And also my video Gretzky Back, in which I want to bring Wayne Gretzky back. Because Sidney Crosby's don't know how to act. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Next question is from Rob. And he writes, hey, if your house was on fire and you could choose only to save either your comics or your figures, what would you choose? Well, first I hope I save the cats, the dog, and the wife. If they're safe, what would I choose first? The figures or the comics? Hands down, 100% the figures. Because I invested a lot more time and effort in the figures than I ever did in getting the comics. And naturally, see my Transformer collection melt away. Probably hurt intensely. And yeah, so I'm going to go with the figures for sure on this one. Good question. And the last question here is from Baby Boy. And he writes, hey, I live in Canada and next year I will be at the TFCon in Toronto. And I wonder if you will be there, because I've heard that you are living in Canada, right? And it will be nice if I see you there. Of course, it's not BotCon, but it's fun. It will be great if I can have a picture with you and me. Thank you. P.S. I live in Canada too. Well, Baby Boy, will I be at TFCon in Toronto this year? I'd like to go. More so, I'd like to be invited. That would be cool. Being invited to a convention. Special guest. DCompose. Yeah, I like that. But definitely would be willing to make the trip to Toronto. To be part of the convention, I guess, for sure. Any conventions. Toronto Convention. I know New York Comic Con's coming up too next year. San Diego Comic Con, of course, the big one. All this stuff, I guess, BotCon as well. Yeah, I'd be more than willing to be part of the convention and be there. You sure you want a picture with me, though? I mean, not very photogenic. Regardless. Want that picture, we'll get that picture. That's it for this installment of Ask Kev Anything. Now, keep in mind this week, Halloween week, like I mentioned earlier, we are going to have some fun. We're going to have some Halloween related, I guess, or not really related, or I don't really give a shit how it's related, Transformer reviews. We're going to have a new Nail or Fail, actually. And we're going to have a special Halloween 101 class, which will hopefully be released on Halloween 31st. So you can sit down, eat your massive amounts of little chocolate bars and chips. You can stick around and you can enjoy. So until next time, guys, take care, keep watching, later.